Wonderful. Good evening, everyone. We've got two proclamations before we start tonight's meeting. Proclamation 1 is, whereas the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay does affirm and acknowledge the harm and hardship caused by drug overdose, and whereas we recognize the purpose of International Overdose Awareness Day as remembering loved ones lost to overdose and ending the stigma of drug-related deaths, and whereas we resolve to play our part in reducing the toll and stigma of overdose in our community. Whereas we affirm that people affected by overdose are our sons and daughters, our mothers and fathers, our brothers and sisters, and deserving of our love, compassion, and support. Now, therefore, I, Deputy Mayor Ella Wallace, on behalf of the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay, hereby proclaim August 31st, 2022, as International Overdose Awareness Day in Happy Valley Goose Bay. Sign this one. Did you want to do a photo now or later?
We'll do the second one, then we'll do both photos.
All righty, okay, great. The second proclamation we have, whereas the Act of Declaration of Independence of Ukraine was adopted by the Parliament of Ukraine, referred to as, I should have practiced this one first, for Verkhovna Rada on August 24th, 1991, the Parliament of Ukraine formally declared an independent and democratic Ukrainian state, establishing the territorial integrity of Ukraine as sovereign and inviolable, further upheld by an overwhelming majority of Ukrainians in a national referendum in December of that same year. And whereas, while portions of Ukraine's territory are currently under Russian military occupation in contravention of international law, we honor the efforts and sacrifices of the armed forces of Ukraine to stave off further Russian military advances in Ukraine and their readiness to defend the entire European continent and its allies against further aggressive actions of the Kremlin. And whereas Canada's House of Commons recognized that the Russians' Federation war in Ukraine as a genocide against Ukrainian people, this motion was introduced by Heather McPherson, MP of Edmonton Strathcona, and adopted by the House of Commons unanimously. Whereas for centuries, the people of Ukraine sought and struggled to achieve an independent state, all the while preserving their culture, language, and self-identity. And whereas today, the Independence Day of Ukraine is the country's primary state holiday and is recognized by flying the national flag on the eve of the holiday, followed by the celebratory activities. And whereas the Ukrainian flag was reinstated in 1992 and was adopted by the Parliament of Ukraine with the blue color representing the sky, the waters of Ukraine, while the golden yellow band of the flag is symbolic of wheat fields of the country. Whereas proud Ukrainian Canadians continue to make significant contributions to the cultural fabric of Canada while embracing their rich history and heritage with which they share values of freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. Now, therefore, I, Ella Wallace, Deputy Mayor, do hereby proclaim August 24th, 2022, as Independence Day of Ukraine in the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay. And we urge all citizens to join in commemorating this important anniversary. On this day, let us recommit ourselves to helping the Ukrainian nation reclaim full sovereignty over its international borders, and remember the heroines and heroes who sacrificed their lives to ensure freedom and happiness for future generations. Sign that. Wonderful. So those are the two proclamations before. Did you want to do a photo now? Do you want to do a photo with all those first? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 22nd meeting of the 13th Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay. I'll be chairing tonight's meeting as Mayor Andrews is out of town today, and we also have regrets. Oh, excuse me. And we have him on the phone live. Councillor Duffett as well. You here? We have them on the phone.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Wonderful. Starting at tonight's meeting, we need the adoption of the agenda of the 22nd meeting. May I have, does anyone have any additions to add to the agenda? All good. May I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Motion by Councillor Bennett, seconded by Councillor Winters. We have no delegations. We'll continue on. And adoption of the previous minutes. Pardon?
No, that's right.
Moving on. We have adoption of the previous minutes. Any errors? Has everyone had a chance to review the previous minutes? No errors or omissions? Good to go. We'll vote to adopt the previous minutes of July 26, 2022, the 21st meeting. May I have a motion to adopt? Councillor Rumbold, seconder. Councillor Broomfield, thank you. Correspondence, we have one correspondence.
Oh, we got a vote.
Oh, excuse. Maybe a vote. Everyone in favor of the minutes indicate with aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, agreed, thank you. Yeah.
Councillor Duffett?
What's the last one?
I think she mentioned that she lost the audio again.
She's still showing connected.
You there, Councillor Duffett? Okay, we'll go without her.
Well, I'll put in regrets.
Mm-hmm.
She says in the chat group that she is.
Okay.
I'm not sure why she didn't get in.
Okay, well, I'll put it in as
She's
regrets.
lost her audio?
She's in the group, can hear
No,
us,
she
but we
said
can't hear her.
Not sure what's up. She's there, she says, but her comment is she's not sure what's happening.
Okay.
Okay, because she is still showing connected here.
Technology is great.
So you can be heard here. If you can hear us, Councillor Duffett, but when it comes to voting, if we can't hear.
Yeah, we had to put in
Yeah,
reverse.
she says she can hear, so.
Okay.
Well, we have the counter is not here, there's regrets.
We'll just
Yeah.
send regrets if you can't, if you have to. Hopefully you can click in. Alrighty, moving on to correspondence. We've had one correspondence coming in from Environment and Climate Change, just the single item on the agenda. And the committees, moving on to the committees, we have Community Planning and Development. Myself as chair for that committee, I can announce we haven't had a meeting for August and therefore no recommendations. Moving on to the next committee, Community Services and Recreation. Councillor Winters?
Again, as the month of August, there was no CSR meeting, so there is no report and no recommendations.
Thank you. Who's next on there? We do have with this one. Floor over to you, Councillor Broomfield, Finance, Administration and Policy.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor Wallace. There was no meeting for the Finance and Policy Committee for the month of August, or July, really. And there is a couple of recommendations, so I'll make a couple of discussions when I do those. Other than that, there was no meeting, so there is no report to present.
All right, you want to go ahead with your first recommendation?
Okay. Okay, the first recommendation from the Policy Administration Committee, and this one is a carryover from the previous month. Property exemption, tax exemption request, property ID 204136 for Gerald Sanders. The FAP Committee recommends that Council deny the property tax exemption request for property tax and interest for 2021 and 2022.
Alrighty, with that denial recommendation, is there any discussion, questions?
Seconder first.
Oh, excuse, may I have a seconder for the recommendation? Seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Any questions for discussion?
I'll just have one comment on it. This is for property that's located up to Church of Falls Road, not, say, within the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay. It's in town limits, but it's outside of some areas that we serve.
So it's not in our boundaries?
It's in our boundaries, but it's not in all the areas that get all of the services we provide.
So it's partial services?
It's really, it's like a cabin lot.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So we'll move for a vote on the recommendation to deny the property tax exemption for 2021 and 2022 years. Those in favor of the denial?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Ayes have it, unanimous. Deny the request. Is that all the recommendations you have?
No, I have one more on that.
Okay.
Okay, so the final recommendation deals with a loan with the RBC, the Royal Bank, for the Wellness Center. Term loan renewal Wellness Center, be it resolved that the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay renew the Royal Bank of Canada loan to finance the town share of Project 17-NRP-19-0011 Wellness Center project for a 24-month fixed term.
Alrighty, any discussions? Oh, excuse me, seconder on the recommendation.
I'd like to just ask a question. Why-
Mayor Andrews, if we may,
why the
Mayor Andrews, if you will, we're just going to, my error, if we can get a second on that. Thank you. Councillor Rumble, thank you. Now, of course, discussions or questions.
Yeah, I just have a concern, just a quick question, and just maybe Ms. McCauley can advise, why the 24-month term?
Why the 24-month term? Councillor Rumble, can you answer that one?
Go ahead.
Okay. We received correspondence from our account manager at RBC giving us multiple options. We discussed through the members of the FAP committee with recommendation through the Director of Financial Operations and the CAO. There was very little difference in some of the term rates. The 24, I believe, and the 36 were actually identical. So we had to look at the current climate, the potential for future trends, and I believe that a majority of the committee members felt that if we go with 24 months, we hope for some economic recovery and stability after 24 months. And if we were to lock into, say, 60 months, with the forecasted changes and what is predicted by those people who have that insight financially, that perhaps we would not be in a better position.
There was a 36-month
Yeah, okay.
option?
Yep.
Just, it would seem to me that interest rates aren't coming down, so to put it at a 24-month, I just, you know, I would see us entering into a longer term, because we go 24 months and then we renew the same loan, we could be in a situation where interest rates are even higher. So over that 60-month period or whatever, we start paying more interest, right? I don't know, just a question.
You're right. I have Councillor Broomfield.
Okay, I'd like just a couple of comments. One is dealing with the interest rates. Right now, our interest rates are roughly around supposed to go up another 0.5%. When you realize we've been in COVID for the last 2 years, interest rates been going down to almost 0%. They are not going back down to that low again. I don't care what anyone says. Irregardless, we had really two options: either renew for two years or go for 5 years. My personal preference would have been 5 years, but so be it. The other thing is, fine and dandy, when you realize that we've now got 1 year underneath our belt, if we renew this for 2 years, we'll be completing our 3rd year. we'll be going into our fourth and final year with a budget, and if the interest rates increase significantly, we're going to have to start fiddling with the mill rates, and then people sitting around the council who support this will pay at that time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Broomfield. I've got a question, Councillor Rumble. Did you say there was a 36-month option?
Yeah, so I can actually tell you, because it was such a slight variance, 12 months, we had a term of, and can I disclose this? 5.32%, 24 months, 5.29, 36 months, 5.29, 48 months, 5.18, and the 60-month term would have been 5.35, which was actually the highest quoted. So if we had gone for 5 months, we would have been taking the highest rate. So it is definitely, it's volatile. There's a lot going on in the market right now. We all had, different opinions and feedback, and I did think something that was valuable to me, and I mean, I don't profess to be any expert at all in this. I just took from it what my own personal opinions based on what I watch and what I follow. But I thought it was very valuable that the DFO, his recommendation and his take on it was that we kind of feel that we're going to reach a point where the instability, there's probably more of a chance of the government stepping in to stabilize rates, because if they don't, we're going to see a recession into the point that individuals will be declaring bankruptcies, losing their homes. So 24 months and 36 months being identical was what factored into my decision, as well as the fact that the 60-month was the absolute highest rate of the 5 options that we had. There's never going to be an exact science. It's almost like playing roulette with this. We couldn't wait to make a move because, I mean, rates are changing daily. But, yeah, so very, very small margins, very, very small differences. 532, 529, 529, 518, and 535. If that provides any insight.
Thank you, Councillor Rumble. Any questions, discussions of this side?
No, I just don't like putting fear in people's minds that the interest rates are gonna skyrocket and all that old stuff. It is what it is. They're not gonna skyrocket to the point where it's going to affect the way anybody or any organization operates to a degree where it's gonna be outrageous. It is what it is. That's just the way it's gonna be. The government's not gonna let stuff get out of hand. And we just gotta live with what comes down the pipe. So people shouldn't live in fear because of what may affect them in a negative fashion. People should rejoice in the moment and live in the fact that there's going to be good times ahead.
No, we also have to plan for the good times ahead.
You can't plan there's no planning when nobody knows what's going to go on in the future. We don't
Well,
know what's
that's
going
the
to happen
whole-
tomorrow.
That is the whole reason why we're voting on it in the public council meeting. For those who vote for it and those who vote against, let the public know about it at the time that it comes up to renew.
We either vote, either way, we vote for or against whatever's going on here. Neither one of us knows what's going to happen in the future.
So is the
It's a game of roulette.
is a 24-month term recommendation from the DFO?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could just make another additional comment. I mean, the government of Canada's, the policies with the Bank of Canada, I mean, they're clearly saying that interest rates are going to rise. I mean, to whatever level, I don't think it's going to go where we're back in, previous times. But the only way that the bank's policies are to slow the economy is to raise interest rates. So, I mean, everything you read is interest rates are going to increase. Now, it'll be ever so slightly, I'm sure. But at some point in time, in order to slow the economy, the interest rates have to go down. And that's why when I asked the question, why the 24 months? I mean, I would see going in, I mean, yes, you have your advice from some bankers will be able to do 2 years, and we'll see what happens. Well, but that's fine. But I mean, from a stability perspective, and from a budgeting perspective, and, from a prudent spending perspective, if the 3-year was no different than the 2-year, I'm not sure why we wouldn't look at that, or even, like I say, the 5-year was longer. The other question I would have is, with that loan, it's a sizable loan. is there an option to shop that loan with other financial institutions to see if we can get a better deal?
Thank you, Mayor Andrews. Councillor Broomfield, have we done that? Have we looked at other banks?
Not to my knowledge, but we can't because we don't have no added financial statements 2019 and 2020. They are not going to look at it until we're up to date.
Going on what Mayor Andrews said, if 24 months and 36 months are comparable rates, why not just do 36 months and lock it in for the budget?
The 5-year one's just comparable, really.
But you don't want to go longer because obviously longer you'd assume the rates would get better.
I can only speak for my take on it, and again, with the DFO's recommendation, with the 24 months, the rationale was that we were hoping that within the next 24 months, we would start to see stability in the marketplace, which would result in potentially lower. Now, I mean, I guess it's on, if I
That's it.
listen to an analyst today, they may tell me within 24 months, we can expect to see stability, and the guy sitting next to him might say, no, it's gonna take 36 months. So, again, like Councillor Bennett said, it's a measured risk. It is something that, you know, we're all gonna have different opinions on, but I just personally, from my knowledge, from what I am seeing and hearing, and what the DFO, who is...
More from the DFO, isn't it?
The DFO's opinion weighed heavily in my decision as
All
well.
right, so let's go ahead and vote on that. Recommendation to enter into a 24-month fixed rate. Indicate with aye. Those in favor? Indicate with aye.
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 Those against?
Nay.
Aye.
Excuse me.
So I didn't get Councillor
Yep,
Buffett's.
both, yeah.
Well, she's a bit delayed here, so was she in favor or against it?
Councillor Duffy, did you indicate with aye?
In favor or against?
All right, to avoid any errors or any miscommunication, or can we vote again on that? Those in favor of a 24 fixed rate indicate with aye if you're in favor.
Aye.
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 Those against?
Nay.
Aye.
Or aye.
He
4-4, 2 against. The ayes have it.
Did he say aye
One
or
against.
nay?
No, he's for. It's one against.
Yeah.
You were a nay, were you, Mayor?
I am voting against.
He's
the
voting
motion.
against. There are 2
Thank you.
against and
Okay.
4-4. Okay,
Aye.
ayes have it at 24 months. Motion passed. Anything further?
I have the final resolution for the checks for the month of August.
We'll go the approval checks. We'll keep that one separate. We'll go through the other 2
Yeah,
committees.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you. Moving to Councillor Duffett, Municipal Services Committee.
Councillor Bennett.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Councillor Bennett, Municipal Services Committee.
Municipal Services never met in August, so I have nothing to report and no recommendations.
Thank you. My apologies. Moving forward now, Councillor Duffett, Protective Services.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
As there was no committee meeting this month, there is nothing to report. We were presented with the monthly RCMP policing report as per usual.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The floor back to yourself, Councillor Broomfield, for the approval of checks.
Oh, okay. Okay, so now the approval of the checks for the month of August. Be resolved that the Finance and Policy Administration Committee recommends Council approve the checks for the month of August totaling $859,618.40.
All right, any questions? A seconder on the amount of the approval of checks, thank you. Thank you. Councillor Winters, seconded. We'll go for a vote. Those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Thank you. Ayes have it, motion passed, or the approval of checks is confirmed. Thanks for bearing with me while we went through this one. Moving on, we have the Councillors Forum. We'll start off with Councillor Rumble.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. It's been a quiet, as far as business goes, month because we did not have those committee meetings, so there's not a whole lot to report. I did want to throw a bouquet to the MEO, Constable Larry Baker, and the Fireettes, who had presented their concert in the park this weekend past. It was phenomenal, and for a good cause, of course. The funds going to be used to assist the volunteer firefighters in training. So hats off to them. They did a wonderful job. We were presented this afternoon with a flyer from our new Community Planning and Development Officer, Greg, and it's to let us know about the Seniors Fun Day that's going to be held on Sunday, August 28th at Kinsman Park, 1 to 4. And so we look forward to seeing seniors in attendance, and anybody who's looking for any more information on that, Greg Osmond is here at the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay, 899-0392, and they can reach out, but I'm sure it's going to be a good time had by all. We won't have our next meeting until after the children are back to school, so we look forward to a healthy, happy, successful start of another school year. I know that some of the post-secondary institutions, as it is right now, will continue with their mask wearing, so we just want to make sure that everybody stays safe and healthy. But looking forward to these young people who are coming into our community to attend the College of the North Atlantic and Memorial University. I see the sign up at the new Memorial campus that they'll be opening this fall. So we look forward to anybody who comes into our community, and we look forward to you having a successful time with us. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Councillor Broomfield?
Okay, I'll just keep it short, because I really have nothing to say here on this. I'd like to just remind them, now we're into our last week of summer, really, before our next week and long week and Labor Day weekend. July was real slow, nothing but rain. We're getting nice weather in August, so enjoy it while we can. Other than that, that's really all I had to say for this one. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Councillor Bennett?
Good this week, everything is good. Hope
Life's
everybody's happy and safe
And the sun is shining, right?
shining.
Good for you. Councillor Winters?
Thanks, Deputy. I'd like to acknowledge the success of the Lake Millville Minor Soccer Club. We sent out several teams, some with great success and some with not so much, but witnessing what I've seen out there is soccer is alive and well in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and congratulations to all that participated. They showed really how Lake Millville stands up for itself and how well we can do when we compete together. Another thing I'd like to say is congratulations to Brianna Andrews on her success at the North American Powerlifting Championships. I mean, setting provincial records, setting national records, it's amazing what she has been doing. And last, again, might sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but there are still people swimming in our river, and that has to stop. And all we can do is stress that that is not a lake, a beach, it is a river. And if you see anybody in that area, please tell them the dangers of swimming in that area. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Councillor Duffett?
I'm all good over here, thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Andrews, have you anything to add?
Yes, I would. There's a few things on the go. I've been out of town for the last couple of weeks. I had the absolute enjoyment of watching via Facebook Live and technology some of Constable Baker's concert. It was indeed fantastic, and I hope it's building on his success from last year. So I want to send a hats off to it. There was a lot of folks behind the scene that helped out and was well attended from what I saw. So that was good. On another note, yeah, we're extremely blessed, I guess, in our community to have young folks that that are doing and excelling very well. I'd also like to mention, along with my daughter, Amber Millen was also at the North American Powerlifting Championships, and she done very well with a gold medal as well. I want to send a shout out to another young lady who's heading to the Worlds in Turkey with powerlifting. Abby Hanrahan heads out, I think, in a week or so. So I'd like to send wishes on behalf of us to her and wish her best of luck. Another thing, of course, that happened in our community that folks saw, a young gentleman is trying to set the record and follow, I guess, his sister's footsteps with circumnavigating, I guess, the globe by himself in a plane. And I just want to send a shout out to our community development person who stepped up and helped organize a very good event with the wing. So that was good to see, and it was on kind of short a notice, but that was good. I'll finally end off with, I guess, recent, within the last few hours, the announcement that Mr. Joe Gowdy will receive the Order of Newfoundland and Labrador in October. Couldn't be given to a more fitting cultural ambassador for our community and for our region of the province. So it's been great. Yep, it's been a great time watching different things. So I want to send a big shout out to everybody. I hope the summer's great, and as we move into the fall, I hope our weather continues. That's it. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Andrews. Moving on, I'll go to myself with the, we have the community market on Saturday. If you can't make it out, the community market is back at Kinsman Park. So if you want to head by and look at some local created arts and crafts, or if you would like to be a vendor, you can contact, I believe, Shelley Cleary for that. But it's great to see it back at Kinsman Park this Saturday, starting back. Like Councillor Rumbold had mentioned, the Seniors' Day on Sunday is going to be a great day out as well. So definitely make your way through there. Announcing the passing, of course, of a past mayor, Judy Odell. So we send our regrets and condolences to the family and wish them all the strength during this difficult time. I as well attended in St. John's with Lake Melville Soccer Club, and I cannot agree more with Councillor Winters. The athleticism, the humor for sure, the tenacity and the skill of our players. The players they're up against are from huge pools of athletes who train daily, 7 days a week, some of them 5 days a week, on purpose-built facilities. So our athletes went out there, they gave it their all, they left everything on the field. Some teams coming back with gold medals, which was wonderful to see, and lots of heart. In particular, the under-13 boys was one of those teams, and one of the honorary members on their team, on their bench, was our local friend, Aidan O'Keefe. Aidan O'Keefe joined them in uniform on the bench for one of their games, and it was just a delight to see. And with that, we wish Aidan's family, Donalda and Gary and the family, all the strength in the world as they go through their next battle. He's now in Toronto, and we wish him all the heart and love from our town. Happy Valley Goose Bay, we're with you, buddy. With that being said, can I move to a motion to adjourn today's meeting?
Can I move that motion, please? My only chance I get to do one.
I'll give it to him. Motion by Mayor Andrews, meeting adjourned.